Hello, hello. Come on in. Let me do a little housekeeping here as usual. Hello, hello. Come on in. Do a little housekeeping here as usual. Hey, Terry. I am doing well. How are you? Now you're in Houston, right? Hey everybody, y'all come on in. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Tell me if you're a maker or a shopper or just somebody who likes to watch this stuff. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight, y'all. All right, here we go. So I am Jamie Shahan. Welcome to my Facebook Live. I am owner and creator of Teal Lollipops Wreaths. I create beautifully handcrafted, elegant and whimsical wreaths for the holidays and for all of the seasons. So what we're going to be doing tonight is making an elf. I have made 10 wreaths, Terry, can you believe that? But I did make some that were already pre-made, and then I added bows and signs to them. So, oh, great. Kim, thank you for joining. Even if you have a few minutes, that's great. So, I have made an elf wreath before, but not like this. So, I'm going to let you in on, oh, Terry, okay. For some reason, I thought you were in Houston. I don't know why I thought that. So we're going to be making an elf wreath. So I went to the at-home store and I found these adorable legs. Uh-oh, there's my puppy. And these elf legs and these elf hands and this elf hat. And these were relatively inexpensive. They were $3.99 each. And for the quality and the size, that's not bad at all. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have these sticking out of the wreath as if the elf is stuck inside the wreath and he can't get out. Like he's just been working so hard all winter long, getting ready for Christmas, and he's just stuck behind all the wrapping. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. So here's the ribbon that I've chosen. So y'all, I joined a group where you get a box of stuff every month, a subscription group. And this was part of the ribbon that was in it. Y'all look at this ribbon. This is so stinking cute. Let me take this wrapping off of here. Look at that ribbon. This is 4-inch ribbon. I don't use 4-inch that much, but I thought it would be perfect for this particular application. This was a 1.5-inch ribbon that came in that box. Now the rest of this ribbon didn't come in the box, just those two. So I've got this red with the green polka dots. We used that the other night. This is a ribbon that came from Sam's, and it is so good. It's a linen ribbon. It's kind of like a blue-red, absolutely beautiful ribbon. Good, stiff, firm ribbon. And then this came from Sam's as well. It's a beautiful ribbon. It's a little bit thin, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's better than some. So those are the ribbons that I've chosen. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to create the biggest bow, and I'm going to put it right here in the center. And the bow is going to represent the elf's body. So that's what's in my head, and let's just see if it all comes together. So because I want to focus on that bow, I've gone ahead and started with the body of the wreath, and I've got 21-inch mesh. I was going to use 10-inch mesh, and as I got it all cut, I realized that I was 5 short. So I had to go ahead and use this 21-inch mesh. And so I'm doing something a little different on how I measured it out. My 21-inch roll is sitting on the floor. Usually it's over here to the side of me. But I've dropped it on the floor. You know, we never quit learning. And I saw somebody do this, and so I thought I would give it a try. So you drop it on the floor. My 10-inch mark is right here. And so I'm just going to place the last tie at about the 10-inch mark. and it's 10 inches from here to here. So I'm just going to kind of loosely measure 10 inches from that mark to the edge of this board. And so that's 10 inches. And this seems to, oh Lord, my dog's yard playing tug of war over here to the right of me. My kid's supposed to be watching them, but he's not. So if y'all hear little baby puppy growls, it'll be my dogs. All right, so there's the 10 inch. So anyway, I tried this method, dropping it on the floor, and I really like it. Kind of gets it out of my way. I did join Deco Exchange monthly box. So this was the first box that I got. And I got in at the end of the month. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry. I got in at the end of the month. Hang on a second. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. All right, y'all. Sorry. So I did get in on that box. I ordered it. I subscribed to it at the end of the month. So I didn't get the one that came out. Well, my babies are little pains in the rear ends right now. My puppy, her name is Bella, and she will play for an hour, and then she'll sleep for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then she'll get up and she's rip-roaring ready to go. And that's where she's at right now. She's rip-roaring and ready to go. All right, this is the last one. Let me undo that. So you've liked all your boxes, Terry? So far, this one was beautiful. It had some picks in it that I loved. So I'm not going to go through this again. Sometimes I will go around 3 times if I think it needs more coverage, but I'm not going to do that. I think it's probably good enough coverage. So I didn't get a sign in mine this time. Because I got in on the end. I was hoping to get a sign, but that's okay. I'm sure I will next time. So I'm going to take this piece that I've cut off, and I'm going to squish it to the back of the wreath, and I'm going to zip tie it in place. I absolutely love this green apple color. Apple green, whatever you want to call it. I think it is so pretty. Hey, Fred. Where are you from? All right, so we're going to start putting the ribbon in now. So I've got 1.5 inch and 2.5 inch ribbon. That's pretty standard. Let's see, what do I want to put with what? I think I'll put that with that. Doesn't really matter. They're both pretty. Okay, I think I'll do this. Ooh. All right, so we've got 2 2.5 inch and 2 1.5 inch. Oh, this is not going to work. All right, so you put your 1.5 inch on top of your 2.5 inch. I forgot to dovetail these. I was in a hurry, so let me do that real quick. So to dovetail, you fold it lengthwise. Start at the folded edge and cut at about a 45-degree angle toward the wired edge. So I'm not going to be dovetailing the red ribbon with the green polka dots because it's kind of thin. Hey, Rose from South Texas. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Are you a maker, Rose? All right. Last cut. So I haven't ever heard of that one, Terry. J. Marie Designs Sign Club. And is it for, I guess is it for wreath? Wreath signs? All right, so I'm going to take the 2.5 inch ribbon and put it on the bottom, the 1.5 inch ribbon on top. Eyeball, find a center point, and start walking your fingers together and squishing it together. Then fold it in a V shape like this, and then cup the tails to make it look like bird's wings. And then just choose a place on your wreath. It doesn't matter where you start, and start placing them in the ties. And let's see. Okay, so I usually will put some sort of decorative mesh in here, but I kind of threw this together at the last minute and I forgot all about it. I'm kind of out of sorts, sounds like. So we'll just go without any sort of decorative mesh here. We'll go with the 21 inch and we'll just see how it goes. So now my next ribbon, 2.5 inch, 1.5 inch, create it a V shape, fluff out the tails to where they look like bird's wings, and then just start placing them on your wreath form. I will look her up on Facebook and Etsy. So eventually, when I first started doing this, I bought myself a Cricut. Does anybody have a Cricut? And my intention was to make my own signs. And because I'm technologically challenged, to say the least, I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't really given it much time, but you can learn anything on YouTube. So eventually I will go to YouTube and I will sign up for, I will subscribe to somebody who's teaching Cricut design and how to use a Cricut machine, and I will make my own stencils and my own signs. But and I would like to do some sublimation. I think sublimation is really cool, but just haven't done it yet. So you did have you sold it. Did you not use it? Is that why? It's a little bit of an investment for sure. All right, so as I'm attaching these, I like all of my ribbon tails to come out toward the outside. And then I will pull the 2.5 inch toward the center, and I will kind of stretch out the 1.5 inch at the top. So I think there are some design groups out there that are teaching, all of that. Wreaths and Cricut. I just haven't found them yet. Haven't really looked into it yet. Hey, Patty. Girl, thank you for joining. All right, so what kind of wreaths are y'all working on? Is anybody going to be doing elves? They say gnomes are popular this year, and I've got a few gnomes, but I like elves for the holidays, for Christmas. Get a bigger cutter than a Cricut. So what's bigger than a Cricut? What brand or what product? I don't think I'll do that just yet. I've got more than I can handle. I'm trying to create some digital products to sell in my Etsy shop. Every time I would go to get it, would be, yeah. There's nothing worse than spending good hard-earned money on a product that is always having issues. I think this is going to be adorable, y'all. So Jeanette, what are you talking about? Get a bigger cutter than Cricut. So Cricut, I think, has like a 16-inch, 24-inch by 16-inch, something like that. And basically, I wanted to make stencils to make some wooden signs for my wreaths. That's what I wanted. And then I wanted to make some iron-ons for my husband's deer camp and stuff like that. All right, we're going to skip up to the top row. We're almost ready to start making that big bow. I do love this ribbon and this green. I think the green mesh with the red ties also pops. I really like that a lot as well. I've always been kind of matchy-matchy, like I would try to match my mesh with my ties. And discovered that you can get too matchy-matchy. You don't want to get everything matching so much that all you see basically is one color. You want some dimension, and you create some dimension with a bunch of different colors. A bunch of different accessories that you might put on there, but you don't want your accessories to be all the same color. You want everything to just coordinate. Cute, cute, cute. I bought a bunch of 4-inch ribbon to make some tree topper bows. I've mentioned that a couple of times in my lives, and I still have yet to make tree topper bows. I've got the most gorgeous teal ribbon from At Home. Now, I know it's not traditional, and it might not sell that well, but I still wanted it, so I got it. I got it specifically to make a tree topper bow. So I better get on it. So if y'all don't have bows in your shop, bows are selling, and it's a good way to get your numbers up. And when I figured that out, I think I sat down and made like 20 bows in a day's time, day and a half. And so that was 20 extra products in my shop in a day and a half time. So remember, you got to get your numbers up. You really want to shoot for 200, but that seems to be really overwhelming to a lot of people. So start with 50. Let's shoot for 50. And then shoot for 100. And then shoot for 200. And you know, once you get rocking and rolling, it's going to be kind of difficult to keep that 200 up. To keep that stocked in your shop. So yeah, I think I will do that on a live, but I want to use this Pro Bow. Is that what it's called? Let me look. Yeah, I want to learn how to use this Pro Bow. I bought one, and so as soon as I do a trial run, then I will do a live doing a 36 loop tree topper bow. And I think the Pro Bow is the way to go. I have seen a 36 loop tree topper bow done on the Bodabra. And boy, she was getting it. Just loop after loop after loop. And she had to stop and count like, 5 or 6 times just to see where she was. And it was gorgeous. She made it in like 3 minutes. It was incredible. All right, U.S. Cutter sells nice potters to cut up to 54-inch wide. Wow. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm going to have to check that out. All right, y'all, so there is the wreath. I think it's really cute. So let's get ready. Let's get started on the bow. So I use the Bodabra, and then we got our ribbon. So I'm going to use all of the ribbon that I just got through using. Plus, I'm going to add this. So I've got 5 different ribbons. So I'm going to start with the 4.5 inch. Now, I don't want tails on this. I just want it to be short and stubby because I want it to stay in the center of the wreath. So I am going to dovetail it though. Y'all, when I first got started, I went to a local craft fair type thing where they sold nothing but Christmas stuff. And I bought a bunch of 4-inch ribbon. And I was putting this big 4-inch ribbon on wreaths just like I do 2.5 inch. I didn't know any better. And it looked fine. It doesn't look as good to me as it does 2.5 inch ribbon. But it could just be that I didn't know what I was doing. All right, so I think I will start out with, well, let's just see. Let's measure it out. Let's just see what we can do here. So I'm going to see what a 6-inch loop looks like. So I'm just measuring, I'm giving myself a little bit of extra here. I'm just measuring 12 inches and I'm going to do a loop. And I'm going to measure another 12 inches and I'm going to do a loop. And I'm just going to see how big that is. So that reaches pretty well across the center of my wreath. So I like that. So we're going to do 6-inch loops for this first ribbon. So I will do a 6-inch tail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'll do an 8-inch tail. So this is single-sided ribbon, so I'm going to have to twist every time. Okay, so I'm going to put my bow dabber on the 10-inch mark, and I'm going to measure 6 inches from the 10, and this is going backwards here, so I'm going to go to the 4. And then we'll be going forwards this other direction, so I'm going to go to the 16. This is some big ribbon. Okay, so now I've got my 2 measurements. So I don't have to measure anymore. I'm just going to copy what's underneath. So twist. I'm not quite sure how many of these I'm going to do. Let's just play it by ear and see. Love, love, love this color of green and this red. Love it. It's like a candy apple green and a blue red. So I'm gonna do 6 loops here. All right, one more. So, and as I go down, I take one edge and slide it down in the bow dabber, and then I take this top edge and then I flip it under and then squish it down. So we'll do 8 inches on this tail as well. Okay, so there's one. This is going to be a big bow, y'all. This ribbon is really thick, too. So, I might struggle a little bit with getting all this ribbon in this bow dabber. But I will prevail. Hey, Suzanne. Good to see ya. All right, this ribbon is kind of thick, too. So, I've got 3 thick ribbons and 2 not so thick. So, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Let me go ahead and dovetail this. So like I said before, we are making a elf wreath. where he has, or she has, 2 arms, 2 legs, and a hat sticking out of the wreath. And I'm making a big bow. So this really is 2-sided ribbon, so I don't have to worry about twisting it. And that's good because if you twist it, it kind of makes it a little bit thicker. And it's already thick, so I don't need that to be any thicker. So I'm going to get a little bit of this out. Maybe it'll help keep it straight. So the 2 arms and the 2 legs sticking out of the wreath, kind of at 4 corners, going at a little bit of an angle, and then a hat coming out the top. And I'm going to use this big bow in the center of the wreath to act as the body of the elf. It'll serve 2 purposes really. Okay, so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to just pull these 2 reds up, and I'm going to measure them against each other. So as I can see here, this side is longer than this side. So I'm going to pull this a little bit farther in, and we're just going to measure it again. A little bit more. That's just a simple way to measure. Okay, so that looks pretty even. So I'm going to use this big bow, which is going to act as the body of the elf that is stuck in the center. It's going to really look like he's stuck behind the bow, but it kind of works as his body as well. All right, so that's 4. I think I will do 1 more. And your tails do end up on this side over here, but don't worry about it because you can twist it around to where it doesn't look like it's still on the same side when it's all said and done. All right, so the next one is this plaid. We're going to go ahead and dovetail. So this is single-sided, so we have to twist. I think I will make it just a little bit smaller than the red. I always get the right side longer than the left. I don't mean to, but it's just the way it is. See, I did it again. I don't know why I always do that, but I do. Still. That looks shorter. How could that be? All right, we're just going to go with it. I'll fix it whenever I pull it out and pull it. All right, last one of these, and then we'll move on to the 1.5 inch. So you want to go ahead and dovetail your ends since they're so short. They're a little bit more difficult to reach once they're inside that wreath. All right, so I think I'll do this one next. This is single-sided ribbon too, so I don't have to flip it. I'm going to do 4 of these. We're almost done. Hang with us. Oop. All right, last one is the green polka dot, the red with the green polka dots. So I will go ahead and dovetail here just because it might be so prominent. Single-sided, so I have to twist. Make it a little bit shorter than the ribbon below it, not much. When I pull that up, it comes just above the top of the bow dabra, so that's about where I want this other side. Pull it up, and it's just a little bit above the top of the bow dabra as well. And I'm going to do 4. All right. Well, that one's pretty long. Let me shorten that up a little bit. All right. So I'm going to lift this bow up off of the bow dabra, and I'm going to slide this pipe zip tie underneath there. Okay, now I'm going to smoosh that back down. I'm going to pull one zip tie up, and it's got a big head on it, so I'm going to just kind of let it rest right there. And I'm going to take this other side, and I'm going to start pulling it up and letting the bow rise a little bit, squishing it down and pulling this up at the same time, and it kind of squishes it together. So tighten it down, not too much, but enough to where you can safely take it out. When you take your ribbon out of your bow dabra, you want it to stay lined up as much as possible. So this is going to be a little bit different. Normally I pull all my tails down to the bottom, but this is not going to be that kind of a bow. So I am going to go ahead and hold my loops. Actually, let's get them all even first. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slide my fingers inside these loops, and I'm going to pull till they seem even. Now this one seems a lot longer than the rest, so I'm going to pull it and make it shorter. Now I'm going to move up to the next, which is this beautiful red. If I can get my fingers in there. Oh yeah, this one only has 5. So 3 on this side and 2 on the other. So same thing, put your fingers in the loops and pull. And if there is one that's shorter than the other, you will feel it pull and even itself out with the others. Now, you don't have to do this. This kind of bow, I mean, some people, it doesn't matter. Some bows are all different. The loops are all different. Some people will scatter their loops throughout the bow. I kind of like mine uniform and on top of one another. And so it's easier to see that they might not be even. Okay, so now they're even enough. So I'm going to push my zip tie to the back, twist it to the back. And I'm going to put a tie underneath it before I tighten it down. All right, so now we're going to tighten this baby down. So I'm just going to push on it. There we go. Cut off this end. All right, so now we can start twisting them and getting them to go where we want them to go. So the zip tie is pretty tight. I don't think it's gonna, I can pull on it. It's not gonna let go and me accidentally pull one of these out. So you can pull on it, you can twist it. It's not gonna hurt anything. That looks pretty good. So I've got one tie or one end over here, right here, and I'm gonna have this other end coming up here. So it's all fanned out. So now we've got the red is next. There's one tie there, or one tail rather. And here's the other tail over here. It's on the same side because I did 5 loops instead of 4. So you're going to end up with your tails on the same side. So I've got one loop coming down here, and I'm going to pull this other one up here. So even though it's on the same side over here, it's on opposite sides visually. Now we have 3 loops over here. Okay. There's one tie. Where's the other tie? Here it is. All right, now we're down to the green with the red checkered. So my bow, my ribbon is kind of falling off to the front edge, so I'm going to see if I can pull it back. And that's okay if it does that. It's no big deal. But I'm going to take these and pull them up here. And I'm not being gentle with them at all. I mean, I'm pulling. This is good sturdy ribbon. Now I can't do that to this because it's thinner. But this green with the red check border, I can be heavy-handed with it. All right. All right, we're just going to fan this out a little bit more and we're ready to go. That is a pretty bow, y'all. Pretty. All right, now, another little trick. So I'm going to need something for this to attach to because it's going to go right there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to attach to the underside of this some pipe cleaners, some chenille stems. So I'm going to take a couple and twist them together. And I'm going to go down to the bar that's closest to the top side. And I'm going to tie it on. You don't want to come up here to the bottom ring because then your bow will be smushed down in the center. You want it to be as close to the top as you can get. right, just twist it around. It's not going to go anywhere once you get it twisted. It's there to stay. Let me go ahead and cut these off while I'm here. I'm going to take this one, you guys, and I'm going to twist it under because I don't want it sticking out before I cut it. All right, so that may be enough. I wonder if I should do one more. Let's do one more just in case, because I don't want it to be sliding back and forth. I don't want that bow to be sliding back and forth. So I'm going to attach it to both of these pipe cleaners where they will meet in the center. I'm going to pull this pretty tight. Thank you, Ronnie. I love this bow. I think it's gorgeous. All right, so we're going to attach this bow right here. All right. So that's that. I kind of like the way that looks. Even if I wasn't putting elf stuff in there. All right, so the elf stuff comes next. So let's cut these off. So I've got some long sticks here. I'm going to leave them. We're going to stick them in there. And what I will do is whatever I have sticking out the other end, I will cut that off. So let's just see what we can do. So more than likely I will be zip tying these in place. So let's just see. I will start with attaching them first of all with these ties. Let's see how that does. And I like that it has a little bell on it because every time the door opens and closes, the little bell will sound. I think that's cute. So these are pretty flimsy right now as I'm just twisting them with these twist ties. But on the back side, I will secure them a whole lot more than they are. But for now, that's pretty good. All right, let's flip it around. I'll come down. I'm going to come down to the bottom row. Yeah, it's pretty without the elf stuff, isn't it? Heck, I could just sell that. Oi. All right, so I will secure those better, but you get the drift. And then the hat is going to come up here. That's cute. So I'll play with these and we'll see. I may put these a little bit closer together so that they're kind of close together like that. I kind of like that better. Then we'll move this over here. Yeah, I like that better down there. Okay, that's it. May we see a side view. Okay, well, they're probably going to fall off, but yeah, absolutely. So that'll be the side view. So I'll probably play with them a little bit. Let's make sure we got it right. So I think these arms are going to need to go in just a little bit further to where he really looks like he's stuck behind that bow. But that's it. I think it's adorable, y'all. What do y'all think? Hey, Amy. So that's it. I'm not going to put a whole lot of embellishment on this. I think the elf speaks for himself. Maybe a few little somethings here and there. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. All right, y'all, thank you so much for joining me again. I am Jamie Shahan, owner and creator of Teal Lollipops Wreaths. You guys, thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you like what you saw, you guys, please tell all your friends about it. Thank you for sharing. And speaking of side view, I guess I'll just give a little business tip here since we asked for a side view. Make sure that in your Etsy shops that you do side views in your pictures. So when you hang your wreath on your door, just go to the side of it and take a picture and let your customers see how far off of the door your wreath is protruding. Some people have storm doors and they need to see if that wreath is going to be too thick or too wide or too tall off of the door. So also you've got 10 pictures in your Etsy. You've got 10 slots for pictures in your Etsy store. So make sure you use all 10 of those slots. So a straight on shot would be one, a right side view, a left side view, a close-up of your bow, a close-up of your ribbon. Get 10 different shots and take your pictures during the best time of the day. So I live in central Arkansas, so that's south central United States. So the best time of day for me in the summer months is 11 o'clock in the morning. So on my days off from work, 11 o'clock in the morning, if it's not cloudy, I'm outside taking pictures. So figure out when your best lighting is. Take your pictures in outdoor lighting. Take your pictures on your exterior doors. If your product is for your exterior door, put your pictures, put your product on your door, and that's where you need to take your pictures. If your product is an interior wreath, hang your product above your mantle on your fireplace. Hang it in an entryway. Hang it next to your side table in your bedroom. Show your customers what they can do with your wreath. If your wreath can also be laid flat on your table with a candle in the center of it, you tell your people that, and take a picture like that and show them that they can use it for that. But make sure you put a disclaimer in there that it is not flame retardant if you do that. Okay, so I guess that's my little business tip for this evening. You guys, thank you so much. And I still have to play with this a little bit. I can see on the video that it's not quite exactly like I like it. It actually is really pretty without it, like somebody said. I really like it without it too. I think it's gorgeous. I really do love the way that it mounds up to the top like that. That's the first time I've seen that. It's the first time I've ever done that with a wreath. So I think I may have just discovered something new for myself. But I think it's beautiful just like that. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.